introduction was done in the last chapter itself. In last chapter I made you write that probability distribution are of two types, discrete and continuous. And discrete probability distribution are further of two types, binomial and Poisson. Poisson was not in your syllabus. Binomial we have already done. And continuous probability distribution is normal distribution. Okay. So we have an idea that the probability distribution of a continuous variable which can be in decimals and it is always expressed between an interval. Like in 11th standard also, continuous probability distribution we used to always express between the classes, means 0 to 10, 10 to 20. One thing you'll find in this chapter, that you are not asked the probability of a fixed value. In this chapter, probability of fixed value is always 0. Means they'll never ask you a question, find the probability of getting success 5. They'll never ask you to find the probability of getting 30 success. Here, n can be any number. It can be big also. They'll always ask you find the probability that the answer is between 20 to 50, between 5,000 to 50,000. Or they'll ask you less than 5,000, or they'll ask you more than 20,000, more than 10, more than 2, less than 8, between 8 to 16, between 8 to 10. They will never ask you in this chapter probability of a fixed value. Fixed value is always in discrete. Okay, this normal distribution, continuous distribution is always between an interval. Interval means between two set of values. Did everyone understand this point? Any confusion in that? So first let us a brief introduction. The probability distribution, getting introduction. The probability distribution of a continuous random variable is called continuous probability distribution. First of all, normal distribution is a continuous probability distribution. First of all, it is never obtained for a fixed value. Okay, the probability in this chapter will never be obtained for a fixed value. What will be the probability of fixed value in this chapter? 0. First of all, probability will always be obtained. Probability will always be obtained below that. First, between two set of values, say A and B. Second, more than a certain value, say A. Third, less than a certain value, say B. Okay? You'll never obtain it you'll never be asked the question, find the probability of 5. You'll always be asked the probability of 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 100, something like that, or less than 5 or more than 5. Fixed values probability is always 0. Got everyone? Now, put your pens down. See here, normal variable, normal random variable is a big word, so I'll always be using, and in your textbook also they'll always be using the term normal variable. Okay, like random variable we studied in the last chapter can be discrete or continuous. So continuous random variable is called normal variable. Normal variable is always denoted as x, and value of x can be any. It can be too small or it can be too big also. If I am talking about a diameter of a wire or a pipe, then it can be 0.02, 0.5, 0.8 also. And if I am talking about income of a joint stock company, it can be in crores also. So actual value of x may be too small or may be too big. It can be any number. Any real number is possible. Did everyone understand this? And normal probability distribution, you'll write it later, understand few concepts. Normal distribution is always of this kind, bell shaped. It is always a symmetrical probability distribution. Normal distribution is always a symmetrical probability distribution, where in between we always have mean. Mean of a normal variable is denoted as mu. What is this sign called as? Not mu, it's mu. Mean is mu and standard deviation is denoted as sigma. This half na of Gujarati, it is called as sigma. That is, sum is sigma and this is sigma. So this is sigma and this is mean. Silence everyone. Mean of a normal variable will be denoted as mu. Standard deviation will be denoted as sigma. Okay? And in a normal distribution, there is always a bell-shaped curve where in center you get mean. Here the value goes till minus infinity and here the value goes till infinity. As I told you, any value of x is possible. It may be too small, it may be too big. Since the total probability, the area under the bell-shaped normal curve, the area under the normal curve, this area under the normal curve denotes probability. Okay, whatever is the area under the curve, that denotes in this chapter probability. And since for a probability distribution sigma px equals to 1, the total probability is always 1 and it's a symmetrical distribution, means both these sides will be 0.5 each and total will be equal to, okay, it's a symmetrical distribution, so sigma px equals to 1. If you divide 1 in 2 equal parts in a symmetrical distribution, then this total area is 1, that denotes the probability. Left side area is 0.5, right side area is also 0.5. Okay? Mean comes in the center, that is mu. And standard deviation is called sigma. Now the problem is, because actual value x may be too big or may be too small, we need to obtain a standard value which will be common for all the values for which probability can be obtained. Means x is to be converted into a different value, such a value which will always come between some parameters only, so that using certain table of probability distribution we can find the probability. Since x may be too small or too big, we convert it into standard value, which is called standard normal variable, and it is denoted as z. Standard normal variable is denoted as z. How do we convert this normal into standard normal? Z is equal to x minus mu upon sigma. Whatever is the actual value of x minus mu, that is mean divided by standard deviation. What will happen with this? Even if the value is too big, it will get converted into value which will be between generally minus 3 to, and even if the value is too small, it will get increased to a value which is between minus 3 to 3. Therefore we call it as standard, because your answer will always come between somewhere minus 3 to 3. Throughout the chapter you will find that. Okay, even if the value is very big, suppose 500 crores, but mean will also be near to 500 crores. So near to 500 crores minus mean upon standard deviation, the value will come down to somewhere between minus 3 to 3. And even if the value is very small, 0.0005, then because of the mean and dividing it by again a decimal number of standard deviation, it will get increased to somewhere minus 3 to 3. So there is a concept. First we convert normal variable into standard normal variable, so that this values generally come between minus 3 to 3. And then for a standard normal variable we have standard normal distribution. For a standard normal variable we have standard normal distribution. For a standard normal variable, mean will always be 0 and standard deviation will always be 1, because if you try to find the value of z at mean itself, then mean minus mean becomes So you try to convert this mean itself into Z, it will always become 0. And standard deviation of a standard normal distribution is always 1. When you make the diagram of standard normal distribution, then in between you'll always get 0. Because what is there in between? Mean. And what is the mean get converted when you convert into Z? 0. So in a normal distribution in the center we have mean. And in a standard normal distribution in the center you'll have 0. And again this will go till minus infinity, this will go till infinity. This side area will be 0.5, total will be 1. And this 0.5 will denote the probability. That is the area under the, did you understand this? Basically what we are going to do is, page 212, last page of your text. Look at the last page of your text. Do you find a table of standard normal? This table will be used to find probability. What is the last value in the table? No? In the first column of Z. In the first column of Z. 3.5. This is what I told you. Whatever big or small the values of X are, when you convert it into Z, they will get converted into somewhere between minus 3 to whatever big or small are the values of X. So we convert X into Z. And from this Z we find the probability using this table. Total 9 situations are there to find the probabilities in this last table. That 9 situations I discuss tomorrow because I want to discuss all of them at a stretch only. So if that 9 situations are clear, then the chapter is over there and there itself. Then we just have to practice. And if you have trouble in that 9 situations, then you'll keep on struggling throughout.